Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Sanderlanche podcast. Today, we read chapters 22 through 25 of Rhythm of War, Book 4 of the Stormlight Archive. In these chapters, we get, I guess the first one is mostly like them walking down to the bottom of the giant staircase in Shadesmar. And so we get our first look at some of the stuff going on there, and kind of get to know some of the people in the party a little bit more. Then we go to Kaladin, who is working, and an old friend shows up. Teft has decided to join Kaladin instead of staying with the other Windrunners. 24 is really kind of there's a lot of introspection and trying to relax on Shallan's part as she's Shallan, Radiant Veil, the three, as they're kind of freaking out about stuff. And then 25 is Kaladin and Teft trying to track down a man that we met very briefly at the beginning of the book, and finding out some less than amazing things about how mental health care works on Roshar. So there's some interesting, it's not like action-packed chapters, but there's some interesting world-building stuff for sure. I'm Data, and with me today is...
Jack.
Jamie.
And Joe.
So hang on to something, everybody. The Sanderlanche is about to begin.
There is a wonder in the weave, so many forks upon these roads. For a burden that is shared is much easier to bear. We will not fall to despair this darkest day. Whatever comes our way, whatever paths we follow, I will share your pain, your laughter and your sorrow. And should we prove ourselves, lose ourselves, nothing's gonna send us astray.
So yeah, 4 more chapters this week, and we are up to, what is this? We're up to almost a third of the way, like 29% of the way through the book now. So what did you guys think of these 4 chapters?
Teft is the best. Like, hey, that absolutely the highlight of this is just like Teft being an absolute great friend. And just like, no, he's gone through some stuff. He was there for me when I went through some stuff. I'm not letting him go through his without me. So, absolute amazing move by Teft. And yeah, this is why Teft is the best. The rest of the stuff was pretty cool. The cast of characters that are going with Adolin and Shallan to Shadesmar seem pretty interesting. I like when they go into Shadesmar and they see what everyone looks like. They got all the various spread and everything, and then Adolin looks at the horse and like, huh, even you look different here. So, I mean, we assume there's something different about these horses. So I guess yeah, this is just representative of that. But that was really cool to see. The Shallan stuff with Veil and Radiant, I'm just like, oh man, it was hard enough for me to wrap my head around what was going on in the last book. I think I was struggling to keep up with it in this book, but I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but I'm just, this is just very... I can't speak as to how accurate this is to real life, DID or whatever, but I'm struggling to follow it a bit, is all. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things pan out.
I think she's struggling to follow it a bit too, so maybe it makes sense that we might have some trouble with it,
A good couple of chapters. I mean, I feel like we've definitely gone back to we're starting apart, slowing down a little bit, which is fine. But yeah, I do think like the characters that we got to have a bit more of a look at was good. I'm actually really quite enjoying the stuff with Kaladin and Teft. Like, I feel like this is the Teft that we all wanted to see probably last book, more of this guy. So I'm glad that Teft is sticking around, especially when we've lost, I guess, that connection to the rest of Bridge 4, and we know Rock's gone back home and all this sort of stuff. To sort of have that little continuity for Kaladin's good. And yeah, I just love that he's like, yep, I'm not fit for duty. I guess I'm hanging out with you now. This is what we're doing. We're doing it together. And it seems like a perfect mission for these guys, like kind of how we wrap up this set of chapters. And this Kaladin's found some real purpose here. There's something he can make some meaningful change, hopefully. And I think this is a really good path for him. So I'm very excited for his journey. I did quite like the scene between Adolin and Shallan on the boat when she's drawing, and just that bit of banter between them. I really, really love their relationship, and I love seeing, how Aelin acts or interacts with each of the three. But like getting that Shallan and Aelin time is great. I'm so fascinated by what's happening with like Gallant and Maya. There's something different. She's not what everyone is like. Oh, she's a dead eye lever. Like there's something different about Maya. So I'm really keen to learn more about her as well. So yeah, back in Shadesmar, I hope we don't just get like, oh, they're on this boat for 2 weeks. Oh my god, they're on this boat for 2 weeks. I need a bit of sleuthing. One of you three have to stand up and start investigating this thing, because I'm going to lose my mind if you don't do that in this part. So I know it's like for tomorrow, but like tomorrow for you is another like multiple weeks for me being able to read about it. So hurry up. But yeah, good little bit of back and forward, not too much back and forward. Yeah, bit of fun. Keen to see where it goes.
I want to echo your thought about like Adolin and Shallan, because I also just love that relationship, and it's so sweet in this section. And there's the like she tells him the truth about like her trying to become Yasna's ward, and is worried like how he's going to react, and he's just like, oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Of all people, Yasna. You tried to do that with Yasna. Okay. And she goes, yeah. I like the bit where he's like, oh, you must have come close because she didn't tell us about that one.
Yep. He knows his cousin. It was great.
Yep.
So yeah, their relationship is so fun to just see them. I mean, it's kind of a slow chapter, but to see the two of them get to have like this relaxing moment together, it was really nice. And the Kaladin and Tef stuff, you're right. This is like a cool mission for them to go on, because the whole thing is much more like low stakes than what we're used to the situations Kaladin being in. It's like if he messes, if he can't find the guy he's looking for, nobody is going to die. No giant battles will be lost. So, but it's still something that can be meaningful to him. So it's kind of cool to see that without it being super stressful, he can still do important things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with both Dak and Jamie have said about these chapters. I really did actually like the first chapter where Adolin's just kind of going around getting to know some of the other people in their spren. I was like, oh, this is nice. We're getting some kind of more information on each of these people. I feel like the only person he doesn't talk with extensively is Vita or like some of the other cryptic peeps. But then also like just some of the fun stuff like, freaking Patterns like got him both arms. He's like, I love walking, let's walk. And he's got feet under his robes, like just those little tidbits. It's kind of funny. So I really like those interactions. And then yeah, Kaladin, it's kind of hard to tell what Tef's motivations are for me. It's like, and maybe Kaladin, maybe it's because it's from Kaladin's perspective. It's like, is Tef actually just saying he's not fit for battle to spend time with Kaladin, or is he actually just like, I'm just looking for something else. I don't want to do that anymore. It's like, I'm old. These people are in the way. I want to be with you, somebody who could actually use my help. Or I'm interested to know like what his full motivations are, like behind the decision that he's made. And it's kind of going in a direction that I had like wondered about. It's like, is Kaladin's thing going to be more about mental health? Which it almost seems like this is what it's setting up for. It's like, he's using his experiences to be like, oh wow, the mental health system sucks here. We should probably try to fix that. So interesting that it is kind of going, at least it feels like it's setting up to go in that direction for them. Yeah, I kind of want to echo what Dax says about the Shallan stuff. Like, I'm having a hard time understanding what's going on. Which, again, that's a reflection of us being inside Shallan's head. It seems like she's having a hard time understanding what's going on. But I'd like some more clarity about what's the deal with that. I want some more Shadesmar time. Again, agree with Jamie. Like let's get down to some sleuthing. Let's figure out what's going on with this spy business, because Shallan's already starting to freak out about it. So I would love to get down to brass tacks and figure out like what's going on with that. But yeah, no, good set of chapters. Like Data said, not action packed, but still a good read. So excited to keep going. Hopefully get some more Shadesmar stuff.
Yeah, I remember early in the book you theorized that Kaladin might do something kind of along those lines. And I guess he would be positioned well to try to work on that, given that he has experience as a surgeon, but also, with trying to deal with these sort of problems personally.
Yeah. Yeah, he can make a determination maybe better than some that like, okay, this isn't a physical ailment. This is like something else that's going on.
Mm-hmm. Also, yeah, you're right that Tef's motivation's not 100% clear. Like, Kaladin doesn't seem to believe that he's really, like, he's like, you don't have battle shock. Go back, get back in the army. What are you doing? And his mom's over here like, well, you really shouldn't force people to be in the army, Kaladin. Like, that's not cool.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's Kaladin almost reacting to what he believes Tef's motivation to be, which is like, you're trying to make me feel like I'm not alone. Which, if that's the full motivation, it is what it is. But also Teft has his own issues that he's had in the past. Maybe he's just I just don't want to deal with that stuff anymore.
Yeah.
And having like big responsibilities, and he's like, maybe I could just have this nice cushy job where my responsibilities aren't as huge in the same way. But also, I think Teft has been one of those people that like from almost the beginning of the Bridge 4 stuff has been very interested in Kaladin. And Kaladin makes it a point to be like, man, all of the original Bridge 4 friends, like they're all going somewhere or they're doing something and they're gone. And then Teft shows up and you're like, oh, this is fun.
Yeah. I mean, and Jamie touched on that, but it's nice that us and Kaladin have a connection to. He spent so much of the last 3 books like saving Bridge 4, building Bridge 4, creating this team, and now we're suddenly like, okay, all of them are out of our story from Kaladin's perspective, and so it's nice to have a little bit of a link back there.
Yeah, it's nice for Kaladin to have somebody he like knows is a true blue friend hanging out, because Kaladin doesn't have a ton of those. Most of his friends are on missions or gone. He's got Teft to actually be there and be like, hey, I'm still here, man. We could do this.
Yeah, somebody he knows he can trust. They've been through a heck of a lot of stuff together.
Yeah. Not a Moash. Freaking Moash.
Yeah, he doesn't have a lot of friends, and in Bridge 4 there was always the issue of like most of these guys really look up to him. He's the leader. And so now it's a different relationship with Teft, and maybe it can be more like equal friend type thing,
Yeah, I mean, I think in the small bits that we've had between him and Teft, I think he in certain ways has looked up to Teft as like a veteran guy who has been around, knows what's going on. I think the closest relationships for me as a reader have been like him, Teft, and Rock. And Rock's gone, so it's like now he's at least got Teft still, so that's good.
Yeah, Teft and Rock always kind of didn't look up to him and like idolize him as much as some of the other guys. So yeah,
it was more of a like, yeah, let's do this together type of thing. So
although he thought Moash was his closest friend for that same reason, and so we saw.
Well, that didn't go so well.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, let's get into these chapters, y'all. Honestly, and we haven't touched on it yet, but the epigraphs are some of my favorite parts of this whole section because there's so much information coming out in these epigraphs. So the first epigraph is, I've reached out to the others as you requested and have received a variety of responses. So Hoyd asks Sazed, hey, go reach out to these guys and see if they'll talk to you because they're not talking to me. And we start hearing how some of them responded as we continue.
That is interesting to me that like, I mean, essentially what it seems like is Hoyd possibly knew all of these people personally. And they're like, nah, I don't want to talk to that guy. He sucks. But then like Sazed, who's technically like an outsider in this thing because he came in so late, they're like, yeah, we'll talk to Sazed.
Yeah. Well, and yeah, we saw last book, he got responses from like Endowment and Autonomy and stuff that were not at all friendly.
Right.
So,
but those aren't friendly people.
Yeah.
Well, maybe Endowment. I don't know much about Endowment. But.
We really don't know much about it. You're right. But yeah, I guess Sazed is like an equal with them now, ish. So maybe that's why they're willing to talk.
They were just like, "Hey, new guy, don't talk to him. Look, you're new here. You haven't figured out how the office politics work. But that guy, he's trouble."
We didn't like Ruin and Preservation anyway. They were kind of weird. One of them just liked to destroy stuff, and the other was like super into preserving stuff, and it was kind of annoying, honestly. He was obnoxious about it. He's like, no, nothing can die. Like, well, that's not how life works, man.
He refused to take his collectibles out of the box.
Yeah. It was really weird.
Refused to take his collectibles out of the box.
And then he wouldn't even sell.
Anybody else care if you do that?
Well, he wouldn't. He just kept them in the box. He wouldn't sell them. He didn't even really want to look at them. He just like put them away in a closet and was like, I don't want I don't want
It's
to mess them up.
It's like, look, man, you want to do that to your stuff, that's fine, but stop telling us we shouldn't do it either. He got really judgy.
I was about to say, yeah, that's when it's annoying when they're judging you for it. Yeah.
Yeah, so judgy. It's like, I just want to take it out of the box and play with it a little bit. What's the problem?
Yeah.
I bought once upon a time when I was in like college, I splurged as they were coming out and bought like the full set of Stargate SG-1 action figures that like Diamond Select Toys did. They're really cool action figures. And then I was like, oh well, I'm mature or whatever. I'm gonna keep them in their boxes for the most part. I took a couple of them out. Like I'm gonna keep them in the boxes, store them, and then maybe someday these will be worth something. And they were never really worth anything. But B, at some point, a teenager or preteen found them in the closet and opened every single one and lost half of the pieces. So I was just like, I could have just like had them out of the box before now. It would have been better in the long run, probably.
It's fine.
The sad fate of my Stargate SG-1 action figures. Tear.
Yeah, if you're a fan of Stargate SG-1, this is not the podcast for you. We don't talk about Stargate SG-1. Maybe we should.
We've talked about it several times on Don't Gaslight Me, Jesus, but that's because Tim has been doing his first time watch through of that show. And I'm a big fan.
I only remember the characters' names. I don't really remember any of the plot.
Fair. So we start the chapter with them going through to Shadesmar, and the giant like Spren who are the Oathgate are on the other side. It says that it's like 30 or 40 feet tall, and they're like, thanks. And the guys are like, it is done as the Stormfather requires. Our parent, the sibling, has died. We will obey him instead. It's like, okay.
Thanks for the exposition. Bye.
Yep. And so apparently several of the Oathgates around have agreed to participate. It sounds like there's still some who are like, nope, we were told not to let people through, so we're not doing it. And we also get the interesting piece of information that it's like, yeah, Shallan, we knew Shallan could, it says she can slip into Shadesmar, but can't take anyone with her. We'd seen that. But Yasna, whose powers are supposed to work going back and forth from Shadesmar, still has trouble with it. And we're also told in the same section, like Callan's like, yeah, Yasna has almost certainly made it to the 4th ideal. So she's very advanced, but apparently still has trouble with that particular power. There's lots of emotion Spren hanging around the tower because there's lots of people there, but apparently there's something about the tower that kind of chills them out. So we're not as scared of them here. And
what was the deal? What was the deal in the last time they were in here? Like they're dangerous somehow?
Oh yes, well some of them in particular, like I think it was Anger Spren. It was like on in the physical realm, you see Anger Spren as pools of blood, and it's like, oh, that's just their drool as they like puddles of drool as they try to come and rip you apart. So
yeah.
Puddles of drool, a good band name for a dog band. It's like, woof, we are puddles of drool, woof woof.
But most of these Radiants and stuff are meeting their Spren for the first time, like, well, like full sized. So you've got several cryptics because Shallan brought 3 of her people with her, and there's this note like they all look the same, but Adolin still feels like he can kind of tell the difference. Their symbols are kind of different, except that their symbols are constantly changing. So. But he's like, there's like a feel to each to each symbols. And Zoo, the Stone Ward, her Spren is Uapam, who's like a big rock guy. It says he's got like cracked skin and there's like a molten glow coming from underneath, which sounds very cool.
Every time I see the name, I just think of the bird from Final Fantasy.
Zoo, yeah. I thought you meant Uapam. I was like, wait, what?
No, yeah, Uapam. Every time I see Uapam. No, I don't know what that reminds me of.
I forgot to mention, before the chapter starts, we get a Shallan sketch of one of the Mist Spren, who that's one of the other, the Truth Watcher who's with them, has a Mist Spren. And I think Shallan's sketches are very, very cool here. You see like a male and a female Mist Spren, and even what the Mist Spren looks like in the physical realm.
Yeah.
Yeah, the drawings here are very cool.
Yeah.
Like for this,
I feel like
there's a couple more we get.
Yeah. I think we get one more this time of cryptics, but to me, the male one looks like he's wearing like lederhosen or something. I was just like, all right, I mean, it's a choice.
Yeah. And did we know before this that Maya was a cultivation Spren?
We knew that she had like a vine pattern to her, so I'd been kind of assuming that she was a cultivation Spren.
Yeah, but that's interesting. It was an edge dancer Spren.
Yeah.
I think you've said it. All I can think is, the misprint going, welcome to Mistoberfest.
We have plenty of misty drinks for you to try.
Come, do the chicken dance, but because it's Roshar and they think everything is a chicken, they're just doing all kinds of birds.
Yeah.
Oh, it's all the birds dances. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. How does a parrot dance?
Similar to a chicken. I don't know. They think they're all chickens. Maybe.
The parrot just impersonates a chicken, and but
He impersonates a chicken.
I think this is the first time we've seen a cultivation sprint on this side. It's like he's got like crystals for eyes and also crystal hands. And I was like, oh, that's kind of freaky looking. Like I want to see Shallan's sketch of that one.
It's like a Sableye from Pokemon.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And then we've got the Mist Spren, who he says the mask is like porcelain, but also he feels like it's almost like crystalline. And the Spren this is the Spren of the stump who translates for her. And Adelyn's staring, and she's like, oh, do you like staring at me? We Miss Spren can choose the shape, or whatever shape we want. We usually pick the shape of a person, though. Do you think me pretty, or do you think me a monster? And the Uapam is like, yeah, don't answer her. Stop teasing that guy.
I like Uapam. He's like, yo, stop fucking with the humies.
That's funny.
Oh, and then we see Maya, who's kind of standing off to the side. And also he notes there's like, she's wearing something, but it's different from what the other cultivation Spren here is wearing. Hers is more like a uniform. And it makes me wonder, like, did the Spren like get uniforms back in the day with the Radiance? That's kind of neat.
I think I always just assumed they could just manifest what they were wearing. But maybe it's, like, I know they can do that on the other side, but maybe they can't do that this side.
Yeah, I don't know. And so he takes his Spren around and introduces her to everybody. And I love, like, yeah, this guy used to be an Ardent, and she used to take care of orphans. And Zoo, what did you used to do? And the Iriali woman's like, make trouble mostly. I like her and her Spren. They seem fun. And she's from Erie, where the people have real gold hair. His mother was from Rira, where he gets his blonde hair from. But apparently there's like there's a visible difference between these two colors of hair. And the other Spren are like, I mean, come on, you there's no point in talking to a Deadeye. They can't understand you. And Aiden's like, no, she understands. It's like, you think she does. This is curious.
Yeah, and it's an interesting thing because later it's like when, I know this is skipping ahead, but like when he's brushing the horse, it's like she then does it. So like, what is exactly the Spren's understanding of what she can or cannot do? It's almost like they're saying like, well, she's just monkey see monkey doing right now. It's like it's almost like they're like, you trained her like a pet. It's like that's just what she's doing. It's like that's not. And maybe it's because we're from Adelyn's perspective, but I'm like, I don't feel like that matches up with what we're actually seeing. And she talked to him that one time, so it's like, what's actually going on here?
We don't have another Deadeye to compare it to either. So like they're all going, yeah, no, she can't understand, can't do anything. We're like, no.
At least not with that close of a relationship. So it's like, what is going on?
I think admittedly later in the chapters though, they go, yeah, like this is a little bit uncomfortable. Like, we're gonna think about it.
Yeah, because they ask him like, how did you train her so well? And he's like, I didn't train her. She just wants to do this. And then they're all real uncomfortable about this. So yeah.
I mean, I guess in a way, it's like, your understanding over however many thousands of years there have been all these Deadeyes is one thing, and then it's like this random human has a Deadeye and it's doing things that you're like, wait, how is it doing that? And maybe that's like, understandably that might make people uncomfortable if they're like, what is going on here?
Yeah. And as somebody mentioned, even Gallant is different. It says as Gallant moves, there's like an after image, a glowing after image of that. It reminds me of what they say about Seth and how when he moves, he leaves like a shadow behind or whatever. So yeah, there's something weird.
Yeah, that is one thing which, we make the joke that Brandon doesn't like horses, but that is like one thing I'd really like to know is like, what are these Rashadium things? Like, they're obviously not regular horses because we already know the Alethi are really tall and these horses are really big. So like, what are they?
Well, and I feel like, okay, hold on. Now I got to go back and look at Arcanum Unbounded real quick. Cause I feel like the Roshar essay that we read once upon a time may have mentioned something about this. Let me see. What she says in the Roshar essay, it talks about how the bonds of Spren and humans is just an expansion of what already existed on the planet. Gargantuan crustaceans grow to incredible size without collapsing under their own weight through symbiosis with Spren, which we did see. We know that Chiri Chiri had to go and like connect with one of these Spren in the short story, right? As he grew bigger. Certain animals obtain flight through similar means, and there's even a race of equines that, through the Spren bond, have adapted to life on the planet and obtained a high enough level of self-awareness to nearly be a sapient species.
Okay, so basically what we know is they're bonded to some kind of spren, but we can't see those spren in Shadesmar, which is interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Like it's not happening like it does with the Radiance, but maybe the after image we're seeing is some sort of indication of it.
Glowy spren bond.
Mm.
Maybe the spren is inside of the Rashadium, like it lives inside of it somehow.
They start hiking down the giant staircase on the mountain, and there's the interesting note that like it's not a 1-to-1 correlation with the physical realm. Somehow, like it's compressed here, the vertical dimensions at least.
Good old time compression or space compression, I guess.
The map maker thought it was super cool, and Aelin's like, "Yeah, he explained it to me 3 times, and I still don't get what's so interesting about it."
Hey, look, if you're a guy who doesn't know anything about physics, and then somebody's explaining to you how like space compression works, you're probably like, I don't know what the heck they're talking about.
Yeah,
like, I appreciate you trying, but this is just not working.
Yeah, you know I fight dudes with swords, right? Like this is not my thing.
Chop chop, you know.
Yeah, I slice and dice, you know.
I like to think like because he sort of brings it up here. It's when he's introducing Maya around. It's like maybe the physics guys, they're explaining to him and he's just not getting it. And then Aelin goes, "Hey, I'm talking to my sword right now." What? Yeah, do you want to talk to my sword? Why?
No, you don't understand. My sword is the thing. Okay.
The funny thing is, people think he's crazy in the physical realm for talking to a sword, and here, where you can see the being that is the sword, the Spren still are like, you know, you're crazy for talking to her, right? Like she can't hear you or whatever. He can't catch a break.
Yeah, that Miss Spren's just like, why are you talking to a Deadeye? Are you stupid?
Yeah. What was he talking to in the last chapter that he's like, I also talked to my sword?
His horse.
Yeah, that's right. At least his horse is like, you know,
it's an animal. Living thing.
Yeah, it's a visible living animal, and I don't feel like talking to animals is that weird. I talk to my dog all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey dog, stop barking.
Yeah.
But it's funny because even Shallan, he's like, you think I'm crazy, don't you, for treating Maya like I do? And Shallan just goes, I find it endearing. She doesn't say, no, I don't think you're crazy. She's like, but it's cute though.
I specifically did notice that, how she does not say like, you're not crazy. She's just like, it's cute. It's like, okay, so I am crazy. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Well, like your wife is definitely not the person to ask, hey, do you think I'm crazy? Because like you talk to your sword and your horse, she talks to the people that she made up within herself.
Yeah.
She talks to her imaginary friends.
Really pot kettle here.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's why she doesn't say that. She's like, I'm not a person to comment on other people's crazy,
sanity.
You know?
Yeah, it's like I feel like it's unfair for me to say anything except it's cute.
I'm manifested my 2 best friends within me, so
yeah, it's a real party in this brain, don't you know?
And then Pattern's over here like, hey, if Maya doesn't talk, you want to hear someone talk? I'm good at talking. I like having arms.
I love.
I can talk. I love to talk.
I love full-grown Pattern so much. He's the best.
Yeah.
He's like, I can walk now. Let's walk, friends. Let me put my arms around you. No mating now. Let's go.
He says, I do like my feet. They are befittingly perambulatory, which is I love this. It's such a ridiculous statement, but it's great.
It's like, I love having feet. I can walk with them.
Oh man.
I think Patton might be my favorite of the Spren.
Oh, he is the best.
He's pretty. We've already established he's one of the most useful in the physical realm too. Like he is just never-endingly helpful. So
yeah.
He's such a curious little guy. He's always sneaking around doing stuff for her. It's just a fun dude.
Yeah.
Good guy to have around, old Pattern. No, I'm Pattern. She's Pattern. That's Pattern. Shut up.
And as they progress down the stairs, we find out Zoo was a guide in the Reshi Isles for a long time because she got tired of people making rules about how she was supposed to live, so she just took off to that place where you can just be naked and swim and nobody cares. We saw those guys.
Yeah. What's the address of this place again?
And so and then we talk to Godeki, the former Ardent, and he find out that he is like 100% like, oh no, God's still alive. Like honor was just a piece of God. Look how amazing God is. Like the Almighty has done all this stuff for us. Look at all this amazing stuff the Almighty has made. And
he's onto something there.
Yeah, I feel like Goteki's kind of got his brain in the right place.
I mean, it's true if you consider the Almighty to be like Adonalsium or something. Honor was an aspect of Adonalsium's power, I guess. So
Yeah, just like the makeup of like Shadesmar as a bigger part of the Cosmere, you have to say like, wow, this was. It feels like he's basically saying like this was designed. Like it's not just because one piece of what we believe to be God is proven to not like be omnipotent and all like living doesn't necessarily mean that like it's not existing. So interesting to hear that from a guy who used to be an Ardent and now is not.
Yeah, he's really taken this whole thing in his stride, much more than any of the other Ardents that we've seen. In fact, he's like, oh, Dalinar's a holy man. Like, it's okay for him to read because, like, he is as divine as any Ardent. And then he starts thinking, but you know what? Maybe it wasn't fair to forbid people from reading the holy word just because they're male. We should look at that.
Yeah, we should dive into the ramifications of only letting one gender read scripture. It's a real it's a real issue. That's why if you go back in the histories, it's like, yeah, there was a time when people weren't allowed to read holy scriptures. They had to get it from like a clergy person. It's like, yeah, that probably wasn't the best thing.
Yeah. And he even mentions a book that we have heard of before, like the Book of Never-Ending Pages. Is that what it's called?
But the Book of Endless Pages, isn't it?
Endless Pages. Thank you. Yes. But we saw that or heard about that book once before, and I was trying to find the reference because that was almost the name of Words of Radiance before Brandon's publisher made him not. But yeah, Yasna makes a gift of the Book of Endless Pages to Shallan and tells her that like there's this one very small devotary within the Vorin Church that came the closest ever to converting me. And this is like the book that they use, and it's like half of it is blank because knowledge can never be complete, basically. And what devotary was that? Actually, it may have been. Was it in Way of Kings that's mentioned? Because I don't see it in. I just searched for the words Way of Kings in Way of Kings. That's not smart. Oh yes, the devotary of sincerity is the one that this book is their guide. And so it's a very small one, she says, but it sounds like maybe this guy was a member of that devotary since he references that book. Just like we have the devotary of mercy that's going to come up at the end of the section. So all relevant stuff.
Good Covenant name once again.
Devotary of sincerity would work for the Covenant also, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like any of those words meaning like larger like emotional states or like, yeah, any of that stuff works. What we're finding out is good Covenant names coming from this book.
And yeah, then he talks to the Stump, who gives us. She's like, I don't know why, like an old woman like me was chosen, but if a child like Lift can answer the call, then I have no excuse not to. So that's why she came. And she gives us a little information about like why she likes the Stump. This name, it's like the only other person who ever gave me a term of endearment was my father, and so I got this glorious title that came from children. I'm gonna use it.
Which is like not the vibe that I got from the Stump when we read about her.
No,
Huh.
she was much more
Okay.
creepy once upon a time.
Yeah.
Apparently,
I guess
this
we were
changed her.
at that time we were seeing her from the perspective of one of those children. So,
and it was Lift. So how much do you trust?
Yeah.
Also, like
Point.
she had to be based on what was going on. Nail trying to kill people. She had to be very quiet about her powers. Was trying to be very careful not to like out herself and like protect these children. So she had her dander up like at all times. It felt like so.
Yeah.
And then we get we find out a little more about what Adolin's mission is. He's got these letters of introduction. He's got some like gifts or something. They're gonna come give them to the Otterspren, talk for a little bit, and then just an initial contact to broach relations. And then it's like, okay, we'll let you all sit on that for a bit, and we'll come back later.
They really like to write essays, these peoples, and I don't feel like that's the play with the Spren. It's like, here, read this thing we wrote about how sincere we are. It's like, I don't know that this is going to work with the Spren, but maybe I'm wrong.
Well, and
Can
Syl
Spren
doesn't.
read? Well, Patton can, but
Syl learned how in this section, yeah.
Yep.
But that implies she did not know how before.
It only took her a week.
We get a little flashback to him talking to Syl before they left, and she's like, I don't know that this is going to work. I don't think they're even going to let you in. Be prepared for disappointment, basically. And don't let them try to blame you for what the Radiants did before. Okay.
This was like between that and Syl's interlude where she goes and talks to Dalinar without Kaladin. I'm just like, how much does she go and talk to other people without Kaladin around?
Even like in the last chapter of the section, Kaladin's like, yeah, Syl's off on her like daily fly around, so she's gonna be mad if I call her back before she's done. So you go ahead and do.
I know we're going to get to it in a bit, but I do love that part where the guy's like, you got to have these, permissions from these people. And then Tef just like summons his thing. He's like, oh, excuse me. Yeah, come on in.
Whoops. Yeah. So, I mean, even best buddies need some time apart. So needs to do her own stuff,
Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Maybe I'm still thinking of the Spren too much, like the demons in his Dark Materials, but it was like it was considered odd when demons would talk to people that weren't their people.
Oh yeah, it was like it was like a taboo to talk to somebody else's demon or whatever, or touch especially. Yeah, you don't touch somebody else.
Touch, yes. Like talking was fine, but it was definitely rarer. But it was also like in that series, like the demons couldn't separate from their people for like more than a few feet. So yeah. It's like I'm talking to someone else's demon. It's like, what the fuck? Where's your human?
Get here, human. What are you doing? They get to the bottom, and there is a ship waiting for them, crewed by Peak Spren. And Aegon's like, yeah, we saw some Peak Spren on our last trip. They left us stranded at Celebrant. And Uapam's like, oh, Cassidon Peak Spren from the east. Those guys, don't worry about those guys. He's like, wait, you have different nationalities? Obviously.
No, you need to say like the way he says it, because he was like, hey, from the east, they are fools. Forget them. And he's like, obviously, silly man, you will learn. I'm like, oh my god, this is Rock as a Spren.
Yeah, it's Rock of the Spren, exactly.
They're sick lowlanders. What are you gonna do with these people?
Light six Spren people. I don't know what's the equivalent on this side of the rail.
We live pretty close to sea level where we are. I'm just gonna start calling people airsick lowlanders.
I mean, Poet up in like Denver is more of it's like he should be calling people airsick when they live closer to sea level.
Oh, Jesus Christ, he does act kind of like Rock when you think about it.
But I like that Uapam's cousin, the guy running the boat, walks up and he's like, welcome. You will present payment. It's like, okay.
Hello, honored guests. Pay me now, please.
I mean, you know what? Smart payment up front.
Yeah, gotta get
like,
that.
You try to welch on me, but you will not welch on me, silly man.
Yeah, it's like I've been fleeced before. I'm not into it. Just pay me.
Oh, you humans!
We all get on the boat. It's not as nice a boat as they had before. It's basically like just a big barge, and so
it's not a corpse boat though.
Nope, that's better than that.
Could be worse.
We'll see Hoyd going past on a corpse jet ski in a minute. It's like, hi.
What's propelling the corpse?
Flatulence. Did you ever see Swissami Man?
Oh god, did not. No, it was Daniel Radcliffe, but did not see it.
Yeah, Paul Dano riding Daniel Radcliffe's corpse like a jet ski.
That is disturbing.
There's a lot to unpack there.
Right. Yeah.
I find your lack of corpse jet skis disturbing.
The barge also moves slowly, so the trip is going to take 2 weeks. And it's like, okay, well, we'll figure out some stuff to do. And then Shallan opens her trunk and is very disturbed, but because we're in Adolin's perspective, we don't know why. She's like, oh, some of my paint spilled. And he's like, all right. Do you want me to help clean it up? No, go away.
This isn't suspicious at all.
Yep. Straight away, I was like, "What has happened in there? It's not paint spilling."
Yeah, it's a note that from that same person that was sending notes to Devani, but this time Shallan is like, "Hey, I know that you're 3 people," and she's like, "What?"
I think most people know that she's 3 people at this point. Like, that's not a big revelation.
Yeah, it's like I'm kind of shocked, but at the same time, I'm not shocked. People already know that about me.
And so everyone else is like has stuff to do, and he's like, "Well, I don't want to be the only guy not doing stuff. I'll go brush my horse. How about that?" And then Maya like watches him brush the horse, and then holds out her hand and wants one of the brushes. And yeah, we talked about this. They're like, "Hey, how'd you train your Deadeye like that?" And he's like, I didn't." And they're all really uncomfortable about it. And he's like, "Fine." We end his section with him thinking like, "I'll do my part, Father. I'll give them your letters, but I'm gonna find a way to persuade them to help us my own way." And then he thinks, of course, I got to figure out what my way is. But it's like Andre the Giant in The Princess Bride, where the guy's like, "Get him your way." It's like, what's my way? My way doesn't seem very sportsmanlike.
Yeah, throw a rock at him. It's like, oh.
But then we cut to Shallan, who she took a memory of exactly what the cube looked like when she packed it, and when she reopened her trunk, it had been moved. Not just moved, like picked up, out, rotated, and put back a different way. Somebody has been in her stuff and used the cube, and that's the end of the chapter. She's very concerned about this, which that pretty much confirms that if the cube talks to Mraize and somebody pulled it out and used it, yeah, the spy is here. We have successfully brought the spy on the mission. But I'm curious, Jamie, what do you think about that with your theory? Does that fit or not fit with your theory that like it's actually another version of Shallan that's the spy?
Yeah, I mean, okay, the spy had access to Shallan's trunk.
Yeah.
Shallan had access to it. It still fits. It could still
But
be.
If the spy is part of Shallan, would the spy have known that Shallan put it in a certain way and have put it back the same way?
Well, if the 3 are not aware of this other person, then maybe some of it goes the other way. Like if she
Okay.
didn't actually say it or think it, like I don't know. I don't know how it works. Like, can they keep secrets from each other? I don't know.
That's a great question. We have no idea at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, no, I was just curious because yeah, that my first thought when I read that this time, I'm like, does that work? Maybe because yeah, I had the same thought as you. Like maybe they're just not. If they're not aware of the fourth one isn't aware of everything that's happening. But I was curious what you thought. So okay.
Yeah, we're gonna have questions. At the moment, it still fits though. I'm still dying on that hill.
All right, fair enough. For chapter 23, we go to Kaladin, and the epigraph is, "Much as you indicate, there is a division among the other shards I would not have anticipated."
It's like,
I feel like
I got this new job, and from the outside looking in, the company seemed to like be really smooth and working well together. Then I got on the inside and found out, holy shit, all these people hate each other.
Yeah.
I mean,
Classic.
to be fair, what he had seen before he became Harmony was ruin and preservation. So that's like the worst of not working well together.
Yeah. Also, it's like, how did they decide to come up with that partnership? It's like, let's be over one planet and we'll balance each other out, but we hate each other.
Yeah. Maybe they were like best buddies before, like the people who took up the power were good buddies before, and then over time, this difference developed. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like the shards all have these different intents. You should have probably anticipated there would be division. But whatever. And so we cut to Kaladin, who is helping a little boy. He's bandaged his ankle. It might be fractured, but so he's like, hey, he needs to use a crutch until we see how quickly it heals, essentially, is what this seems to be. We'll look at it again in a week. And then there's a question from Syl about like, hey, like, is this... Oh, before that, it's hilarious because the boy's like, I'm going to become a Radiant, and then I can just float everywhere. And Cal's like, oh, so that's what being a Radiant is about? And he's like, well, yeah, that, and then you can stick your friends to walls if they argue with you. A Windrunner told me, so that must be right.
He's like, was this guy Herdazian? It's like, yeah. Oh, yeah. That sounds like him.
That guy.
I love that guy, but geez.
Also, this kid's name is Adin. So it's like, Callan's like, that's my name without the Cal.
I guess it is. I hadn't thought of that.
And so at least Callan's like, oh, fuck, people naming their kids after me.
I think in my mind it's pronounced like Aiden, so maybe that's why I never put that together before. But you're right. Yeah.
Funny you mentioned that, Dak. I know a guy in real life who did name his son Kaladin.
Really?
Yeah, he's a super big fan of these books.
Neat.
I met a guy when our kids started like kindergarten at the orientation, who I saw the kid had the name Ted Kaladin on, and I was like, oh hey, parents, you guys big fans of Brandon Sanderson books? And the dad was like, oh yeah. And I got the impression the wife was not as thrilled about it, but
And maybe the same guy.
It could be. I told him, because we already had bought tickets to go to the convention that year, and I was like, oh yeah, my wife and I are going to the big Sanderson convention in Salt Lake City in December. And the guy turns and looks at his wife, like with this excited look on his face, and she looks at him and like shakes her head at him, and then he was all like, "Oh,
yeah."
But I mean, tickets were already sold out by then. I at that point I didn't feel like I needed to mention that, but it was the most hilarious.
Way to rub that in that guy's face, Data. Jeez,
I didn't say it. That's the thing.
You raised my hopes and dashed them quite expertly. Bravo, sir.
Oh, Tinny Tim.
Yep. No, we got apparently we're not doing enough Futurama references. But bring it back.
Quick. Let's get another one. We have seen too many body bags and ball sacks.
It's funny because there's the kid with the crutch in this scene in the book.
That's true.
Tinny Tim totally fits.
Yeah, it's relevant. It's relevant, listeners.
I started watching the new like Hulu seasons of Futurama. I never went back after it got renewed again because I really liked the ending that they did, like the second series finale.
I didn't see it. I'm still like back in the Comedy Central stuff.
It's kind of a lovely ending to the Comedy Central run. And so when they started doing, also I didn't have Hulu when they started doing the Hulu seasons, so I didn't watch them as they were coming out. And so just I think there's been like 4 seasons of Hulu or something so far. And
wow,
so like,
have there already been that many?
I was like, let me go and check this out. Yeah, they're in the 4th season, right? Or they're in the 4th season of that right now.
Fourth one has just started releasing.
Okay. Maybe I should catch up then. I'll have to go back and watch.
I think the Hulu stuff it's similar enough to the Comedy Central stuff. It's like there are some winners in there and there are some duds.
Sure. I didn't love the first episode back, but the second one was pretty cool, where they revisit Amy and Kif's children because it's been 20 years, and it was like in 20 years these children will come out. So I was like, oh,
and they're recurring characters now.
Really? That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the kids show up pretty regularly.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just 1 episode past that. I'm on How the West was 1010101 or whatever. So
that one wasn't bad.
I've just started, but I'm gonna make it through this. I picked a bad time because there's a bunch of other shows that have like just started coming out with their new seasons that I'm also needing to watch. Like they did a new season of that Batman show on Prime, which I liked the first season a lot. So
I forgot about Crusader. That show. Yeah, that's a good one.
I watched a couple episodes and I liked it, but just haven't gone back. And that was the first season. So I'm like, I should probably.
Yeah. Meanwhile, I quite enjoyed that. So I'm excited to watch this new season.
Yeah, I'll have to check that out too. Meanwhile, I'm still doing my watch of Buffy and Angel because I never ever finished those shows, and I did not know Vincent Kartheiser shows up in Angel, so I was like, oh hey, that's a thing.
Oh, that is. I don't think I knew that either.
Yep, he's a recurring character. Yeah, he's Connor.
Okay, I know a little bit about the story, but I hadn't seen the. Okay, interesting. Oh, also Ted Lasso new season just came out, and I just finished watching the first 3 seasons for the first time, and it's an amazing show. So
yeah, you know about Ted Lasso, eh? It's good.
I mean, I knew about it, but I'd never watched it because we didn't have Apple TV, and now we have Apple TV. So I watched the first 3 seasons, and the 3rd season ends so perfectly that I was like, why are we doing a 4th season? And then we're 2 episodes in, and I'm already excited about 4.
Okay, well that's good. I was about to say they were ending it after the 3rd season, but then I guess it was so popular by fan demand they like tried to bring it back. But like because the writers were like, no, we're done.
I mean, it ended really perfectly, but I think they've done a real good job with the first 2 episodes of season 4, so I'm excited. But anyway, sorry. Big diversion we took there.
But TV digression. If you guys like TV, hope you like TV. We like TV.
But they sit down and Syl's like, are you happy, Kaladin? And Kaladin is like, I'm not sad. I think I'll take not sad over where I was before.
Hey man, I have been there. It's like, you know what? This is better than how I was feeling before. Yeah, I'm not miserable at least.
I'll take improvement any day. Yeah.
Yeah. If you've ever been in that place where you're just miserable and you don't really even know why, and then like you get to a point where you're like, you know what? I don't feel miserable today. It's like this is way better than feeling miserable at least.
Yeah. And he has apparently there's like a rotation of girls from the village that come and read for him, but he sends the Howin, the girl, out for some reason, and then he needs something read, and Syl's like, yeah, hold on, I'm looking at it.
I think she leaves. Like she said, she has to go to the bathroom or something.
Maybe that's what it was. Anyway,
Either way, yeah, it's not super important.
And he's like, wait, Syl, when did you learn to read? She's like, last week. All right.
In a week? What?
And also, before we even get to that, I love she's reading him like the list of symptoms or associated things with migraines. And she's like, mood changings, cravings, thirst. I think this has a frequent need to pee. Storm. Stuff goes out of you when it's bad. Stuff doesn't go out of you when it's bad. How do you live like this? It's the great.
It's just bad all the time.
Yeah. Just being human is just not great. There's a lot of needs. It's a lot of physical needs that you're like, oh, this again?
Yep. Flashbacks are weird.
And the older you get, the worse it gets.
Yeah.
And Syl's like, it's not really as hard as it seemed, this whole reading thing. Like, I don't know what the big deal is. But I figured you could use somebody to read for you. Which, that's cool. Syl is... Because he doesn't have a lot of use for, like, weapon anymore. So I think Syl's like, you know what? I want to find a way to fit into the new life that Kaladin is making, and I'm going to do something about it.
I think that was just my, like, last week. I'm just like, yeah, predictions, whatever. Could Syl turn into surgical tools? And then they talk about here. I'm like,
Yep.
This is nice.
And she even calls out, like, I can't really be a scalpel, but I saw your father using, like, a little hammer the other day.
Yeah. It's like, oh, cool. All my questions got answered. I'm good.
Yeah.
Be funny if she could turn into like a scale and measure people's weight. It's like you're standing on me. That hurts.
You hurt less than the last guy. Syl, we do not body shame you.
That last guy was huge. Syl.
His big question is like, can you be something that's not metal? And she's like, you know what? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot about our like connection that we haven't explored.
Like, that would be interesting if you could become different materials.
Yeah.
Obviously, it doesn't come like naturally to them, but it would be very interesting.
She could become wood. It's like Monty Python. Build a bridge out of her.
Well, not, but
So
if she can
fill herself with mercury, she becomes the thermometer.
Yeah.
But if she can become other things that aren't metal, my question then becomes like, how complicated of a thing can she become? Because even all metal, you could be like a clock or something.
Yeah.
Of course, they use fabrial clocks that involve imprisoning logic sprints, so I guess they don't have like gear clocks like we do, maybe. But anyway.
Oh, remember how Lyran was getting so excited about the stethoscope? Could Syl become a stethoscope?
Well, he asked her. He's like, I would love it if I didn't have to share a stethoscope with my father. And so, yeah, it's I
missed that bit, yeah.
I don't know what the stethoscope is actually comprised of inside, if it's just a tube with a thing on the end. But so she might be able to. But I'm like, wait a second, how like crazy can we get? Can you become like a little telescope or something? I can see stuff far away. Like, depending on what she can do, like there's endless possibilities outside of just sword and spear, which is the main stuff they've used up till now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, they do solve a lot of their problems with the stabby, jabby. So that makes sense.
Yep.
So now I just imagine Syl being like, Kaladin, give him the old stabby, jabby.
But he walks out on the balcony to take a little break, and he sees like the force of Dalinar's army is going through to Azir, and then a bunch of Windrunners show up. It says Leighton must have seen Kaladin because a large group of Windrunners comes up and they give him the Bridge 4 salute, and he's like, they don't use it with each other, but for original members of Bridge 4, they always use this salute, and so he returns it and they head off.
So interesting, because I assume like Navani was staying in the tower, wasn't she?
Yes.
It's something I only put together when, like, oh yeah, like Dalinar's army is going. It's like, hang on, we don't have a single perspective character going with this army. Whatever they're doing is going to be happening off page, and that fills me with a bit of anxiety.
Ooh, yeah. I don't know, if Dalinar and Yasna are both going, I don't think they're going to die off page, so you can't be too horrible.
But like, there was the whole like Taravangian's plot thing that he was talking about involves this army, and we are not going to see it through our people unless the only other perspective character possibility is Venli, and
yeah, she could be there, I guess.
Wild hunch, I don't think she will be, but she might. But yeah, it's like Oh, okay. A very important plot thing that we've spent a lot of time talking about is happening off page without perspective characters. Like, that's okay.
Yeah,
The last
maybe
time-
just not until next part, I guess. Maybe they'll journey
Yeah,
for a long time or something.
Yeah, true.
Last time we saw Venli, Leshwi was giving her over to the new fused to be part of her retinue during the tower invasion. So it doesn't sound like
Raboniel.
Raboniel, yeah.
Oh.
It doesn't sound like Venli will be there, you're right.
Hmm.
There's also kind of a cool note that the more experienced the Radiant is, the less Stormlight is required to operate the Oath Gate. And so he's like, probably Yasna is doing it today. She can do things with her powers no one else can. She'd plainly sworn the fourth ideal. And we also get the note that he's really impressed. Like, Yasna's the queen. If she's fourth ideal, she's maybe the only fourth ideal. She's got all this stuff to do, but that doesn't stop her from making medicine because she's the only one good enough at soul casting to make these complicated medicines and things. So he's like,
Pretty cool.
we don't see eye to eye on a lot, but that's pretty cool of her.
Yeah. And I like that, he could see that.
Yeah. He doesn't dislike her to the point where he's looking over those kind of things.
Perhaps even loves her. Still rooting for that relationship.
There's been a lot of coughing lately. Apparently there was a sickness going through. He'd never encountered anything like it. It was a plague from the west, but not deadly. So I don't know. Do you guys remember? We've heard about this plague on and off for at least since Words of Radiance.
I'd forgotten about it, for sure.
I guess it's like the flu, basically, is what he's describing it as.
I think basically it's the common cold. And I believe that Brandon has said that the three guys we saw go to the Pure Lake back in the first book, brought it with them.
They created the common cold on Roshar.
Yeah.
It's messed up. It's like, thanks for bringing the rhinovirus here, jerks.
There's in the Comedy Central Futuramas, there's a whole episode about that because in the future they'd eradicated it, but then Fry just catches the cold because he doesn't have the eradication, and it becomes this massive pandemic.
You think, yeah, it can happen.
Mm.
And so it has reached the tower now, and people are getting sick, but it's fine. It's not deadly. We're getting past it. And then he goes out to see who's next.
Was it Galadon? I bet it was Galadon.
I would. This woman is here because she wants to find her uncle. She gets treated for coughs, but she's also looking for her uncle who had been in Hearthstone just before the evacuation. And so he's like, well, let me go talk to my dad. And he goes out and he hears a voice talking to his mom. Been clean for 6 months now? Storm me, 6 months. That's something. Can't stand the battle, though, not any longer. It's gotten inside me, itches at my brain. And Kyle's like, wait a second. Teft! What are you doing here? Why aren't you with the rest of them?
Also, his excuses do sound lame. Can't stand it. Itches at my brain. It's like, okay, really?
I got the itchy brain. You got itchy brain. It hurts.
Yeah. It's like, Callie, you didn't tell me your mom was cute. It's like, wait, back off, Teft.
She's still married, man. Sorry.
Laird pokes his head out. I was like, what's going on out here? Nothing.
I feel like with Liren, it might be like somebody's hitting on mom, and he's like, okay, well, let me know how that goes. And he ducks back into the surgery.
He'd probably be like, good luck.
And
you're in for a wild ride, son.
She only has eyes for me, obviously. I'm Liren, the best.
Teft says he went and talked to the Blackthorn, and they agreed it would be a good idea for him to step down. And he says Rock is gone, and Moash is worse than gone. Sigil needs to lead the rest of them without me being baggage. We started this together. We ought to stick it together. And he tries to order Teft back, and Teft's like, you ain't got any knots on your shoulder now, lad. You can't order me to do anything. And that's when his mom's like, I mean, you shouldn't force someone into war, Kaladin, not unless you want to be like Amaram.
Damn, foiled again by logic and good arguments.
Low blow, Mom.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless you want to be like the guy you hated most in the whole world, you shouldn't.
And that got your brother killed, that guy.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, damn, Mom.
It's like, she's not wrong. You're not wrong, Walter. You're just an asshole.
Yeah.
You're not wrong, Asina. You're just an asshole.
And so Kaladin thinks about it, and he's like, I know Teft isn't battle shocked. He can go back, but I also know that Tef is like the most stubborn dude ever, so it's not going to do me any good to fight this. And so he's like, all right, fine.
So he orders him to go, and it's like, think that's going to be the end of it. And then one night he comes into the operating room. It's like, Teft, are you sleeping in here? No, I'm living in here. It's like, how'd you get in? We locked the door. I have a shard blade.
Yeah, right. No door is locked for Teft. Sorry. Also, he can fly. He can like fly around to the window or whatever. But yeah. And Talon's like, okay, so you wanted a diagnosis, and Teft's like, no, I already know I'm crazy. What are we doing? Let's bind some wounds or whatever. And the chapter ends with him being like, thanks, Teft. You shouldn't have given up so much for me, but thank you. This woman wants to look for her uncle. Let's see if we can track him down. And that's when we get the cryptic picture, which is actually maybe my favorite, because there's like him like sitting in like a lotus position and doing, I don't know if he's dancing or what is going on in one of these images of the cryptic.
The one where he's running is like, that's a Looney Tunes, like Bugs Bunny has set up a prank on Elmer Fudd and is running away to see how it pans out.
It so is, and I love it. Oh gosh.
You can just imagine the giggling.
I want to. I gotta zoom in to see what these words say. I doubt it's truly possible to capture the shapes of these patterns in a drawing. They're constantly in motion. There's a subtle variation of unique forms in the shapes of their robes. Their body appears to be made of glassy, solid planes that casually fold and split into new angles as they move.
That's trippy.
Yeah, right?
I mean, those fingers are way too long.
And yet, they have such bony hands, and yet I'm nearly certain they do not have bones. Some appear to be chiseled from obsidian, while others appear to be carved from white marble. So you've got black and white cryptics, I guess. Cryptics have feet, but they aren't often visible below the long robes. I've never seen a cryptic running. I expect they would look very silly, is what it says.
That little drawing of a cryptic running is pretty good.
I love that.
Great.
Okay. Endowment. Okay, so we start the next chapter. Endowment at least responded to my overtures, though I've not been able to locate Invention again following our initial contact. So there's a new one. Yeah, there's a new shard name that we didn't know. You guys will not believe how excited the community was between this one and the next one. That there's like 3-4 new shard names. It's like Christmas for the people who have been trying to figure out these 16 shards for like over a decade.
No, I get it. It's like I was reading this and I was like, oh my god, we're getting names.
Let's see, Radiant. So this chapter starts out with them very introspective. Like nobody seems to want to be in charge. Because Vale violated the agreement, she's being punished and doesn't get to be in charge for a while.
The timeout corner of the brain.
And Radiant is like, hey, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody slips up. And Shallan goes, not you. You've never seized control like that. And then it says, Radiant felt an immediate stab of guilt, but there was nothing to be done about that. Best to move forward. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah. Need more info there.
Yeah.
They're investigating the book that they got from Iali, or that they found in Iali's room, I guess I should say. So these places that are listed are worlds beyond the edge of the map. Pattern even talked to some other Sprend who'd met travelers from these places. So Thydakar, the mysterious leader of the Ghostbloods, is from one of those far-off worlds. And it seems the Ghostbloods are looking for Ba-Ado Mishram, who Dak called out last time as being a very important unmade. She had taken over for Odium following the final desolation, and then been captured by the humans, which stole the mines from the Singers in ancient times. So that's how the Singers became Parshmen, is what this seems to be indicating, is that capturing Ba-Ado Mishram somehow took away their mines.
This makes me think, and I don't know if this is really a prediction or not, but I guess that makes me think, all right, if Stormfather is embodied in the storm, and like it's not like he's always like there in the high storms because, you know, he hangs around Dalinar all the time. But okay, is Ba-Ado Mishram the Everstorm? Is then like her, you know, power focusing on the planet?
So that means she's already out.
Yeah. I mean, it's like locking her up took away the Singer's minds. The Everstorm is what gave them back. So
it's true.
So that seems to matter.
Yeah. It says Mraize is hunting for the gemstone that held Ba-Ado Mishram, but maybe he's on a fool's errand if Odium's people already released her, yeah.
Well, I mean, it just says he's after the gemstone, not like and held, like past tense. It's like they might already know that she's out, but it's like they can use the gemstone for something else.
Yeah, okay.
Bring me the stone.
4 stones.
No, that's a different movie.
103 buff? I know, but that's what I thought about.
That's always good, though. Good old Gary Oldman.
And then they decide to let Vale out, find the spy. But Vale doesn't want to do that. She starts drawing. And Shallan's like, what are you doing? You're terrible at drawing. She's like, I know, and you hate watching me try.
Such a cruel way.
Yeah, it's such an interesting ploy. It's just like, haha, I'm gonna draw really bad and make you come out. It's like, hey, wait, what?
And like Shallan tries to like not fall for it at first, but then Vale starts drawing Adolin really poorly. He gives him a unibrow, and Shallan's like, I don't care, and crosses his eyes, and she's like, wait, that's going too far, and puts him in cut off knee-length trousers. And that's what does it. My husband does not wear shorts. Damn you, Vale.
It's just like I put him in breeches, and she's like, no.
You've managed to insult both of them now. Adolin would be horrified.
Yeah. And so,
can you imagine if he finds that drawing of him somewhere and he's like, why did she draw me like this?
He's like, hey, shorts, huh? That might be an idea.
Nah, my legs are too white for that.
You hear Vale just whispering to Shallan, hey, Shallan, who wears short shorts?
She's like, no! Stop it!
So eventually they agree, hey, Shallan, just you do you. We'll work on the spy at a different time. And then Shallan spends the next 5 hours drawing until Adolin comes over with some food. She's figured out most of the book, and we're still working on the spy thing. But I want to talk about that today. I need to think about that. He's like, when I left my homeland, I thought I knew what I was heading into, she tells Adolin, but I had no idea what would happen to me and where I'd end up, which, yeah, I mean, fair. Shallan has come a long way since the beginning of the Way of Kings.
She's seen some shit.
Yeah. And he's like, no, you had a pretty good idea. You went out to become Yasna's ward. And she's like, no, I set out to rob Yasna. We thought, she explains the whole thing to him. And then he just laughs.
I genuinely thought they'd already had this conversation, but
I assumed, yeah. Shallan, that is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. Robbing Yasna. She goes, yeah, robbing Yasna. And yes, I know. And then he has the line that you guys mentioned, like, she's never mentioned this, so I bet you did it, didn't you? At least you fooled her for a little while. And she's like, oh my gosh, I love Adolin so much. I totally did. I swapped it for a fake one and almost escaped, except, she's Yasna. He's like, yeah, big flaw in your plan.
I'm gonna leave out the whole first boyfriend part with the jam, but
Yeah.
Now's not the time to bring up Cadsal the Jam Man.
No. Is there ever a time for that? I think the answer.
I love that he was such like a minor character now looking back, but he made such a large impact on us.
It's a huge impact.
It wasn't even like towards the end of the book where we started just going like, man, this guy never shuts up about jam, and then all of a sudden it just exploded.
It's like it makes sense in hindsight. It's like, oh yeah, he was always with the bread and the jam because of the poison, but at the same time, it's like, dude, that's a lot of time talking about jam.
But it's like that was just his tool for assassination. It's like he could have picked anything to try and assassinate her. It took a special kind of person to go, you know how I'm going to kill someone? Jam.
Also, like, he spent a long time trying to do only that. It's like, bro, it didn't work the first time. Like, you're not able to catch her with the bread and the jam. Just move on to something else.
He tries so much.
I just love the gamble of... you must have the jam with the bread because I'm actually going to poison you every time you eat the bread. I just need to make sure that you eat the jam. Yeah. Also, it's such a big gamble.
Yeah, that and like he's like the worst ghost blood ever. It's like that's his only move is bread and jam.
Yeah, his superiors are just like, are you sure you don't want to try anything else? No, it has to be jam.
Yeah, like maybe a knife or.
Moraes is just like, dude, the jam and the bread are not working. Do something else. He's like, never.
50th time is the charm.
Yeah, exactly. 50th time, maybe. Oh man.
It's like, like eventually Shallan has to explain this to Adolin. She's like, so yeah, like there was this guy. And it's like, oh yeah, what was he like? He liked jam? Okay. But no. He liked jam like you like fashion. Oh.
Oh, so it was like a love affair with jam. Yeah.
And like Adolin's trying to put this into terms he can think, and he's just picturing like Cabsal just like he's locked himself in his room with like a catalog of all the jam flavors going, oh,
jam.
It's funny because I'm not even sure he liked jam. It was that Shallan told him that she liked jam, and that's what started the whole thing. But he has become like the jam obsessed.
No. This is just like, this is our own personal meme of this guy. He's just like the jam dude.
Ah, Capsule, we hardly knew you dead bastard.
But yeah, then
Jam boy.
they go on to have some conversation. There's some bad Shallan jokes. I love the part. It's like hilarious, and he's like, "But hi doesn't even sound like hilarious." When like, it's some great bad
You
joke
read
making.
too much into it. Let it go, Adolin.
But this is where we find out she's trying to draw like a male and female of each variety of spren, and that's what we're seeing in her sketchbooks, which is cool. And the one spren is apparently called Dreaming Though Awake. Which is a hell of a name. I kind of like it. This is the one that was asking Adolin, like, what do you think about me earlier? And so apparently she does really just like to ask questions. Because she's like, oh, Shallan is like, oh, hey, I thought you might be drawing the Unmade. And Shallan's like, wait, you know about the Unmade? And she's like, nah, not much. What do you want to know? And Shallan asks several questions, and she's like, yeah, those are good questions, all right. I mean, I told you I don't really know much about them, but it's good questions.
It's like, stop wasting my time.
And she's like, I mean, if you want to know about the Unmade, you want to know about Bado Mishram, you should ask the Heralds. I heard several of them were there for her binding. Nalan, Kelek. Ask them. Okay, well, I guess that's more information than we had before.
Which one was Kelek again? Is that the crazy one? I mean, well, that doesn't narrow. That doesn't narrow it down at all. Is he the God King one?
No, that's Ishar.
Isha, okay.
Yeah, Kelek is actually the guy whose perspective we're in the very first chapter that we ever read, where he's crawling his way through after the battle. And
oh, the one that he was like the last one, and Jezreel said, "Oh yeah, I convinced all the rest to take off."
Yeah,
and we just
exactly.
left town. So we don't know where Kelek is then.
Yeah, nope.
Okay.
I think we theorized he might have been the guy with Nail in the flashbacks to Gavilar and stuff, but we don't really know, I don't think. Let's see. And she realizes, oh man, the Heralds, they're connected with all this stuff the Sons of Honor was doing and the stuff Mraize wants. I gotta figure out how this all fits together. And we go to our last chapter, Devotary of Mercy, and the epigraph says, whimsy was not terribly useful, and mercy worries me. I do think valor is reasonable and suggest you approach her again. It's been too long in her estimation since your last conversation. So whimsy, mercy, and valor.
And Valor likes Hoyt, I guess?
I don't know. That's a good question.
Or at least Valor understands where Hoyt is coming from regarding odium.
Yeah. Valor is reasonable, is what he says here. So it's weird that Hoyt wouldn't have already contacted them when he was writing to the other, if this was a reasonable one. I don't know. I like the idea that there's one called Whimsy and not terribly useful. I don't know if it's been confirmed, but since this came out, like Brandon had mentioned a planet that he wanted to write that had like kite-based magic. And so the theory has been that like Whimsy is the one behind the kite-based magic.
Oh god, now I'm just picturing the Shard as Kite Man.
Exactly, yeah. And then
Kite Man, hell yeah.
Mercy worries me, and I'm like, mercy sounds like such a good thing. I don't. Okay.
I wonder if it's coincidence that like they mentioned mercy in the epigraph for the chapter Devotary of Mercy.
Oh, I don't think I'd put that together, but that's a good point.
But it was like, mercy worries me. Well, yeah, we're talking about like putting the final solution on odium. Mercy's probably like, no, mercy for odium. No, shut up, stop it with that.
Okay, no, that maybe that's fair. And so we cut to Kaladin and Teft. I won't say Kaladin and Shallan. Kaladin and Teft are looking for this guy. And the Ardent they're talking to is like, yeah, I know who you're talking about, but he's not here anymore. We sent him elsewhere. And it's kind of a whole thing to get out of this guy what happened to him. The guy's named Noril, and he'd lost his arm. We saw him at the beginning of the book. He lost his arm, but also, like, he told Kaladin's dad, Liren, he told Liren that, like, his wife and child or something had died, and Liren recognized that, oh, this guy's in a bad way emotionally, and sent him with, like, a special message to, like, watch out for this guy, basically. Which turns out to have been perfectly valid, because this Arden tells us, yeah, we caught him trying to hang himself. So we had to send him on to a place that deals with mental illnesses. This guy says, my devotary cares for physical ailments. We rehabilitate those who have lost limbs, eyes, or their hearing in battle. And yeah, he only had one arm, but there were deeper problems than that. I like there's a devotary completely devoted to, like, if you lost a body part in battle, then we're here to help you out. Which maybe
that's
for the
pretty
Alethi Society that makes sense.
See it all the time.
Mm.
We had this crazy Hadazian in here a while ago. I don't know what happened to that guy.
And I do love, like, as they're talking to this Ardent, they're helping pick up, like, cushions and stuff from whatever the training or teaching or whatever been going on in this room. Like, they're like, we'll help out. There's no reason that we wouldn't. And then he's got so many. She's like, you can't carry all of those. And Kaladin has just lashed them so that he can float them around. And she's like, oh, holy crap, you're Bright Lord Stormblessed. And he's like, oh, yeah, it's not a big deal. Don't make a big thing of it, please.
A lot of people aren't recognizing him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe-
I would have thought he would be slightly more recognizable, but
Yeah,
without
maybe.
context.
The
Maybe,
brands on
yeah.
his forehead, you know?
Yeah, that's the thing for me. It's like he's got these brands on his forehead. It's like maybe he's let his hair grow so long that people aren't noticing them. But then also I imagine there's some people who've, like, he has such a big name that, like, there's probably some people that are like, I've never met him, never seen him, just heard about him. So then they're like, oh wait, you're that guy.
I imagine if most people have seen him, it's in his, like, high marshal uniform, and that's the
Right.
kind of thing people would expect to see him in, and him being in just normal clothes could totally throw you off, probably.
Yeah.
There's it's like who expects, like, Bright Lord Stormblessed to come down just looking for a dude who got injured in battle? He's like, wait, why are you bothering? Like, wouldn't you send your people down?
It's like, I don't have people anymor.
He has a person.
Yeah, I got this one guy. You know Teft? He's pretty cool. She's like, ooh. Sorry, Teft. He's like, think nothing of it, lad. You're the star.
I guess it's the kind of thing. It's like, if you were working in a McDonald's and fucking Chris Evans came up to the counter, and it's like, you probably wouldn't be expecting that. It's like, maybe it's just a guy who really looks like him.
Hey,
Yeah,
you
true.
look like Chris Evans? Yes, look like. And nothing else.
That's what skateboard guy has to deal with all the time, right? It's a
Tony
big joke
Hawk, yeah.
online. Yeah,
Yeah,
Hawk.
Tony Hawk.
But I mean, it, like, happens all the time. Like, didn't Dolly Parton enter a Dolly Parton lookalike contest and come third?
And lost. Yeah.
I heard that about Charlie Chaplin. I don't know.
Like, and when one of his movies, one of his Superman movies was coming out, Henry Cavill was standing in Times Square under a billboard of himself. No one noticed.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like most of the time you see a celebrity in a normal situation, you don't assume that it's like, that's what happened when we were at Disney World and I saw Weird Al in line near us. I was like, that guy looks like Weird Al, but, like, I don't assume that I'm running into the one person out of 8 billion in the world who,
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
your wife's like, that is Weird Al. You're like,
Yeah.
wait, what?
Yeah.
It's like the accordion was a dead giveaway.
I think the hair is a dead giveaway for Weird Al. He's got that hair,
Yeah, true.
Anyway, back to the thing that we're doing. Like,
Hoyd, Weird Al playing Hoyd.
I can see that. Yep,
That'd be a little too eccentric, I think.
maybe. But she tells him the surgeon who sent him to us warned us to watch out, so we were able to save him when he tried to hang himself. And Tef's like, "What? You knew he might be a danger, and you didn't send him immediately to?" She says they sent him to the Devotary of Mercy. They care for people who have trouble with their minds. And she's like, "No, we didn't." And there's, like, some sort of. It feels like there's something deeper to that. But Tef's just like, "What? You're irresponsible." And Callan's like, "No, I mean, my dad sent him here first. I'm sure they know what they're doing." And so she tells them where the Devotary of Mercy is, and they're like, "Okay, we'll go there." And they find it's, like, deep inside the tower, like, way far from light or windows or anything like that. And when they finally get there, I love it. It's so dark, the guy has to, like, squint to try to figure out, does Teft has light eyes or dark eyes? And he's like, "Okay, Bright Lord, yeah." And they're like, "If you came here to, like, commission prayers or whatever, we'll direct you to the Devotary of Kelek a little farther on. We don't do that kind of thing." And Cal's like, no, we're looking for a patient, missing his arm. His family's trying to find him. And they're like, "Yep, can't reveal patient information, man. Sorry."
Yeah, that was pretty good. It's like, it seems like such a modern thing. It's like, I can't give out the private information, but actually it does make total sense. But
Yeah.
It's like, even in Roshar, they got HIPAA.
And he says, "I need an authorization of at least a High Lord of the Third Dawn." So it's funny because it's just like any person, any light eyes important enough can sign off that you can get this information. But I would.
It's like, we have HIPAA except for if you're really important.
Yeah. We know important people don't mess with that. It's like,
Yeah.
if you want a normal visitation, I got a form somewhere here your wife can fill out. Which is funny because neither of these guys is married.
Yeah, it's like just this Arden's just assuming. It's just like, yeah, your wife can fill it out. It's like, bro, I'm not married.
Oh my god, could Syl turn into a pen and like sign and like fill it out for him?
Ooh, I wonder if
Just
she
burn the
would.
paper up. That would be weird because it's pointy.
Yeah, she'd have to like get in,
Yeah,
right? So,
yeah, true.
I mean, a fountain pen
Just-
isn't necessarily that pointy if you're using it correctly, but
Like, but could you just imagine the look on this dude's face? It's like, here, fill out this form, and Kaladin just folds his arms, wills a pen into existence, and just fills it. And Kaladin doesn't break eye contact.
Amazing.
but I mean, it's almost as crazy when like Kaladin and Teft just look at each other, and he's like, "No, you do it, Teft." Syl's out on her morning flight. He's like, "Okay, fine," and summons his shard spear, and the guy's like, "Oh shit! I'm sorry. Yeah, I'll help you out immediately." And so apparently, like, we know that the whole church was against the Radiants for a very long time, but apparently they've taken to the return of the Radiants by giving a lot of reverence to these guys. So, which makes
Godeki sort of talked about it in Adelin's chapter, so maybe it's just widespread.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably just by like reputation, right? It's like, well, we're fighting this giant war against these people that are trying to kill us. The Radiants are the only ones protecting us, so it's like they're
Yeah,
probably
fair.
good guys.
Yeah. But I like that Kaladin's thought is, I mean, if they turned into our favor that quickly, how quickly might they turn on us again?
Fair.
That being said, there were perks to be. And so, yeah, Norrell and the guy's like, yeah, he's here, but he told us he didn't have any living relatives. So maybe it's a different person? Oh, and he's on suicide watch. One unsuccessful attempt. And so Kaladin's like, okay, take us to him. And they go down a very dark corridor to a very dark room. And Teft's just like, you lock them in the dark? Like all of the guys that you're taking care of? And he's like, yeah, many of the mentally deficient react poorly to overstimulation. So we work hard to give them quiet, calm places to live.
We just put him in a box. What's the deal?
Put them in a box where they in the dark where they can't see. It's like, yo, bro, that's a good way to make people go crazier.
Yeah, this is like cruel and unusual punishment.
Yeah, it's a real Shutter Island. It's great.
And like, I get that they don't know a lot of how to like handle mental illness and all that sort of stuff. But guys, really?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. In what way is this the way to treat these things? Like,
And Kaladin calls it out, like, how do you know that that's helpful? And he's like, well, this therapy is prescribed by some of the best thinkers in the Ardentia. And he's like, okay, but how do you know? Do they get better? Have you tried different treatments and compared them to each other? And the guy's like, no, there are no cures for mental ailments, Bright Lord. Even edge dancers can't do anything for them.
It's like that's not how that works, bro.
We've tried nothing, and we're all out of ideas.
Yeah,
right.
Let me try putting salt on the wound. That didn't work. Well, that's the only treatment we have.
And we're just gonna keep salting.
And I love that to Kaladin's face, he's just like, with all due respect, you should leave medical issues to those of us trained in them.
Hey, dickhead, I'm like the only, like one of the best traditional surgeons here.
Buddy, you picked the wrong Radiant.
yeah.
And so Kaladin's like, open the door. We want to talk to him. And the guy's like, well, he might be dangerous. Has he ever attacked or hurt anyone other than himself? He's like, well, no, but the insane can be unpredictable. You could be harmed. And Teft's like, dude, you could stab us with 100 swords. And we'd just be pissed off about our clothes getting all messed up. Just open the door.
100 bad guys with swords. Yeah, no, it's stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
Dude is in here, in the dark, huddled in some straw on the floor. Can't give him blankets or sheets. He might try to strangle himself. Oh my gosh. And so, yeah, they go in and they're like, hey, Norrell, your niece is looking for you. You're not alone. And he's, no, tell her I'm dead, please. And so Kaladin's like, look, man, get up. I won't make you go see anyone you don't want to go and see, but I want to take you somewhere that's not here.
Let's just have a chat. No obligations. Just talk to me, and then we'll see how you feel.
And the guy doesn't move at all. And then Kaladin has to go into, he's like, hey, man, I know what it feels like. And he describes, like, what happens to him when he's in this, like, dark place. And the guy's like, looks at him like, wait, what? Like, this guy understands? And so they get him up and they're going to take him with him. And the Arden's like, what? No, you can't take him. And Kaladin just stares at him.
He's like, dude, I was one of the first Radiants. What are you gonna do to stop me?
And Teff's over here like, I wouldn't confront Bright Lord Stormblessed right now. Not if you value keeping all your bits attached.
I don't even need my shard blade to take you apart, buddy.
It's true. He's not one of the fighting Ardents.
And then Teft realizes now, like, that he was hard on that Ardent earlier for not sending him here right away. But now he's like, I get why anyone who gives a shit would not want to send someone here if they didn't have to. Syl shows up. What are we doing? Actually, I don't care. I got to tell you about Aladar's Axehound puppies.
She's
I had
visiting
no idea how much
Aladar?
I needed to see puppies until I flew by them this morning.
The fuck is she talking to Aladar about, of all people?
It says she was
Yeah.
just flying around and saw the puppies, I think. So
Yeah, that's what she says.
Yep.
they're so gross that they're cute, and so cute that I could have died, except I can't because I'm an eternal sliver of God himself, and we have standards about things like that. I love Syl. And so, yeah, they get Norrell outside, and he's like, is my niece okay? And Kaladin has to go back into some of the stuff he's been through, you know? It piles up on us bit by bit. And then Teft joins in too. Like, you having nightmares? And the guy's like, yeah. I can't remember the details. Maybe that's a mercy from the Almighty. I don't deserve mercy. I don't deserve anything. And Kaladin's like, hey, I know you think it would be better if you vanished for everyone, but your niece loves you, and your return would make her life better. And he says, I can't feel that way. And Kaladin says, I know. That's why you need someone to tell you.
Hey, it's not your fault. Yeah, I know. No, it's not your fault. Yeah, I know. No, it's not your fault. It's a good movie.
Yeah, it's a great scene in that movie.
Mm.
You know, and Teft and Kaladin both use like what they've been through to relate to what Norrell is going through, and he's like, "Thank you for taking me out of that place and for talking to me." Like they don't even talk to them; they lock them up in the dark with nothing and leave them there.
Living in a box.
And when they take him, the Ardent is here, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, you got him talking. We haven't been able to get more than a grunt out of him." And he's like, and Kaladin's like, "Well, yeah, no shit."
It's
Put him in
did
a
you
dark
try?
room. Yeah, you put him in a dark room and just left him there, and probably said like, "Here's some food."
Yeah,
Not helping.
You basically Count of Monte Cristo'd him.
Yeah. And the Ardent says, well, the book of treatment says keep lunatics away from each other because if they talk together, they could feed on one another's melancholy. And Kaladin's like, I mean, I could see that being a possibility, but have you tried?
Also, that seems so unlikely.
Yeah.
It's like human connection. No.
It's like if one guy is sad and another guy is sad, and if they talk together, that's going to be like double sad.
They're going to
Like that.
compound the sadness. There's no possible way that talking to one another about each other's problems could make things better.
And to the guy's credit, he's just like, I know you're angry at us, but we do what we can. Most people just want to ignore guys like this. They shove them off on the Ardents. We're the only ones who are trying anything.
Yeah. Which, fair is fair, but like it doesn't sound like you're trying that much, dog. It's like, oh no, these are the acceptable practices. That's what we're gonna do. Nobody's like, maybe we should try something different.
It's like, I'm sorry. Most people want to ignore men like them, unlike us, who just lock them in a dark room and leave them there to rot.
Yeah.
Like we willfully shut them out.
And then Kaladin's over here like, I mean, you understand that like different stuff being wrong with you calls for different approaches. Like, so what do you do for a person who has this or a person who has that? And the treatment is all identical, no matter what sort of mental condition you have. And Kaladin's like, yeah, somebody has to do better than this. And the Ardent's like, I mean, yeah, that would be great, but do you realize how hard it would be to change the minds of the head Ardents? Do you realize how much money and time it would take to do what you want us to do? We don't have that.
How much time is it going to take to change the minds of people? Oh man, I was a dark-eyed bridge slave, and now look at me.
Right.
Yeah.
I've
everybody's
changed
calling
a
me
lot of
Bright
minds
Lord.
already.
Yeah, or now everybody's calling me Bright Lord Stormblessed. I don't even like it.
And the chapter ends with Kaladin being like, release this guy to me and warn your superiors I'm coming for the others. The Ardents can complain and complain all the way up to Brightness Navani if they want, and they're going to get the same answer from her that I'm giving you right now. We're going to try something new.
Yeah.
This your brightness Navani, Bright Lord Kaladin is stealing all our crazy people. Do you want them back? Well, not really, but it's
Not
the principle
really.
of the thing.
It's like, do you want him back, love? No. Then he's gonna keep him.
I forgot about that.
There was a very positive reception to Hicknavani, by the way. I gotta say,
Really, I
Oh,
thought that
that's
was going to
good.
be divisive.
oh my gosh.
I
Okay,
just imagining all the Alethi with some nice country, thick hillbilly accents just tickles me.
we're gonna read 3 chapters for next time: 26, 27, and 28. And fun fact: 26 is gonna be the longest chapter I think we've had so far in the book, and 28 is gonna be the shortest chapter I think that we've had so far in
Ooh.
the book. No, almost the shortest. Just it's slightly longer than Interlude 2, which is the shortest one so far. So yeah, real long chapter, normal size chapter, real short chapter.
Interludes are a bit of a,
Yeah, they're kind of
they're not
their own
they are
thing.
not the same.
These chapters are called. Chapter 26 is A Little Espionage. Chapter 27 is Banners. And chapter 28 is Heresies. So what do you guys think? Let's do some predicaments. Where are we going? What's going to happen?
Given what we just talked about, heresies could easily be the Ardents coming to Nirvana. It's like, the fuck is this? We want our crazies.
True, could be.
Yeah. But, okay, so predictions. The impression that I get is... I'm focusing mostly on Adolin this one. So he is there to lead the diplomatic mission to the Honor Spren. And I feel like it's obviously not going to go well, because the Honor Spren, kind of seem like they got sticks up their sprenny asses. But, so whatever's going to happen, I don't know if there's going to be battles or jail time or... like however it goes down, I get the feeling like they're probably not going to be allowed to leave the Honor City for a bit. Maybe they'll be like hiding. There'll be sympathetic Honor Spren like sheltering them. Kind of like what happened in Kolinar last book, except it's the Spren sheltering them, like from the Honor Spren. Like that'd be an interesting little parallel. Yeah, I don't actually know how it's all going to play out, but the thing I think is going to happen is at the end of that plot, the thing that is going to save them is something to do with Adolin and Maya. I think the fact that Adolin is treating a Deadeye so well, and it's like, yeah, look, I can't control what the Knights did to her. I have her now, and I'm going to treat her as best I can. And I think that is going to go a long way with convincing the Honest Friend. It's like, all right, maybe the humans aren't too bad. Maybe we can throw in our lot with them. I don't know in what form that's going to take, but my gut says the way Adolin treats Maya is going to be the clincher.
Interesting. Okay. I mean, if they're looking for if they're Honor Spren, they're looking for something honorable. I definitely feel like the way Adolin treats Maya is honorable. So
yeah,
that's a good start. I agree. Yeah.
It's like it's sort of things like there would be no obligation for him to do that, and they wouldn't expect that of anyone. So when they actually see it happening, they're just like, oh, people actually do that. Oh my god. So. Yeah, that's all I got this week. But
Adolin definitely has a different relationship than like any other Spren relationship we'd seen. So I could see that being relevant.
And we saw this chapter, like the Mist Spren is like, what? Why do you do that?
Mm-hmm.
So like, even other Spren don't really seem to consider the Deadeyes too much. So
yeah, agreed.
So yeah, I think that that's going to be the thing.
Okay. I like this prediction because if that's the case, then it's being foreshadowed real early on in the book. And I always like when we have a little foreshadowing that's going on throughout, and then it becomes really a big reveal. So I would like that. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's tied into Adolin's character. I think one of the reasons we have all become so fond of Adolin is he is a nice person. He tries to understand and look after everyone around him.
Yep.
And so like I don't know. It'd be nice to see, like, oh, this is a conflict that was won because Adolin showed empathy to someone a lot of other people didn't show empathy to. I think that would be really nice.
That is absolutely like his character. You're right. Like people that someone else might not show empathy for, Adolin is there.
Yep.
He knows everybody's names. He's got a present ready for your wedding. Yeah. No.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Adolin's the dude.
Yep.
I really like what Dax said about Adolin and Maya sort of being the clincher. I think it's definitely leading to, like, there's something about Maya. There's something special either in their bond or about her or what. I like the idea of it sort of comes down to those actions that is not actually the forced diplomacy coming to play. It's the, hang on a minute, what's this happening over here? Wow, okay, that's impactful. I sort of like the idea that, you know, Dal and I had that conversation with Adolin before he left, finding a spren, and Adolin's like, I don't really want that. I feel like if he was ever to become like a Radiant or something, I feel like it would need to be with Maya. Like, he's not looking for another spren. This is it. Like, if ever there was an opportunity for him to become a Radiant, it's with this combination. And I don't know whether that's like has an impact of like his intentions. He's not looking to hold the power of Radiant or anything. He's literally taking the time to obviously look after his sword, but then once he knew about Maya, look after her as well. And I think maybe that could, I don't know, cultivate something there. So I don't know. I would like to see that sort of happen, but at the same time, I'm also really like chill if that never happens. If that makes sense. I didn't have a huge amount of thoughts today. And we talked about it earlier, so I won't harp on, but I still think I'm on board with Shallan being the spy. So I'm kind of excited to see where this next chapter goes. I hope we do. She's had a relaxed day now, and it's time. It's time to start sleuthing a little. Would be great. I'd love to see some kind of development over this like 2-week journey that we're getting closer to either sort of finding out what Shallan's truths are that she has to speak or whatever's going to come out of her. She's sort of already opened up to Adolin a little bit on a small thing, but maybe more will come. And then hopefully more information will come for like what I was thinking prediction wise about the fourth personality. So that's where I'm really hoping this part goes. I don't think we're going to have a resolution at the end of this part. I do think it's going to be throughout the course of the book, but I'd love to get a little bit more there. As both Jack and Joe said, it's a little bit confusing, but being in Shallan's head, it is confusing.
For us and her, yep.
Yeah. So it checks out. The only other thoughts that I had regarding Teft and Teft staying behind, and I don't know how Kaladin would take it, but I suspect that maybe it could be a little bit of, Teft has come forward and gone, maybe Cal shouldn't be alone, and Dalinar, Dalinar's got to go, he can't really be that person, but maybe Dalinar has sort of instated Teft to stay behind. Like, it's not we need someone to stay behind, I'm commanding you to stay with Cal, but maybe like a mutual decision, like actually this would be a good thing. So you're still kind of acting on behalf of Bridge 4 and the Radiance and stuff, but Adolin's not going to be here. He's gone into Shadesmar. Dalinar's not going to be here. He's with his family who he's not super close to. You need someone here keeping an eye on Kaladin. So it wouldn't surprise me if there was a little bit of like awareness from Dalinar that had happened. And I don't think Cal would take that particularly well if he found that out. But
yeah, like being assigned a babysitter, probably not.
Yeah. But like Syl absolutely could have been like, he's doing better, but probably needs a bit of something. Like, Syl is obviously talking to Dalinar.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reason she couldn't have also gone and spoken to Teft and coordinated this little time for them. So
yeah, she's running all
I
over
don't
the
think
place.
yeah. Like, I don't think it would sort of change the course of the story or anything, but like it's already such a positive thing, and we're seeing how Kaladin talking through shared experience is helping other people. Well, he's getting to do the same thing now with Teft. So it's already working. He's helping himself and then able to help others. So yeah.
Okay. I'm curious. Okay, so if you're right and Shallan is secretly the spy, Shallan is trying to hunt for the spy. Is that something that you think Shallan would ever consider? Like, is she going to discover herself as the spy, or would that be like something she would never even like think to look at?
I think right now, I don't think that's something that she would look at, but I think she would have to get to a point at the end to be like, the evidence doesn't add up, or as more of what she's sort of telling people or revealing slowly reveals itself. Like she would have to confront that possibility like over time and with more evidence.
Okay.
There was a bit in there where like Radiant had like that stab of guilt because you haven't messed up that way, and she had this stab of guilt. It's like, yeah, okay, it does sound like the personalities can keep things from each other. Just thinking on it since we spoke earlier in the episode.
Mhm.
So maybe Veil or Radiant. I wouldn't say no to the extent yet, but maybe Radiant knows something and is trying to like coax it out of Shallan so that Shallan can come to that realization on her own. Could be completely off, but it wouldn't surprise me kind of if Radiant figures it out first and then has to kind of nudge
Okay.
Shallan in the right way.
Yeah, I could see that. Like, if it was you or me and we're looking for a spy, we're probably never going to come to the point, regardless of how much evidence, of being like, wait, am I the spy?
Yeah.
But Shallan is a little bit different.
There would yeah, exactly. There would have to be a point where it's like to the exclusion of all others, like there is absolutely no way anyone else could have done this, whatever this is, or for someone else to interact, or maybe like Adelyn's getting really good at, telling them apart and interacting with them differently. Maybe if there's a fourth personality, Adelyn will be like, whoa, something's not right. Like, you're not Shallan, you're not Vale, you're not Radiant. And I feel like if then Adelyn was to come to Shallan and be like, you'll never guess what just happened with you here. Like it would have to come from a trustworthy source, maybe.
That's a good point, because,
Yeah.
she has people outside of herself, at least Adolin, that she trusts, maybe Pattern, like, implicitly, that if they came and were like,
Mm.
Shallan, something is weird, that she would listen. That's a good idea, yeah. Okay, cool.
You'd think Patton would know, though.
You would.
Hmm.
I don't know that Pattern would necessarily recognize, depending on what the weirdness was that Shallan was doing, because Shallan does a lot of weird things, and Pattern is not exactly an expert on humans, so she might get away with doing some odd stuff that he didn't recognize as being out of the usual or
Yeah.
odd Shallan. I don't know.
True.
Yeah, you guys have had some interesting theories. I almost want to take it a different direction from Jamie. I really like the idea that the fourth personality is the spy, but at the same time, I was just kind of mulling things over, and I was like, what if it's something different? Because it feels like to me this fourth form personality thing is tied up with her like past and with not like understanding or not being able to come to terms with stuff that happened in her past. So I'm almost wondering if like her past self is or her past is kind of creating this block inside of herself, And I almost wonder that if she can get over that, if she can tell the truth about what's been going on with her and what's happening with her, that it would actually like the fourth personality would almost be like the true Shallan. Not saying like Shallan is not Shallan, but like it would be the ultimate like formed version of her that is kind of complete in its like truth and understanding of who she is, what she's been through, what's going on with her. So I almost wonder if like that fourth form is more of a positive thing than a negative thing, if that makes sense. I think that would be interesting. Yeah.
Okay.
Other than that, I like what we were talking about with Adolin. I think his bond with Maya is really cool. It's unique. It's different. It's definitely something that I could see like becoming a factor in whether or not like the Spren kind of come to an agreement with us. So I liked that theory as well. And I almost wonder if at some point, like one of the Spren and Shadesmars, like, I'd be willing to bond with you. And then Adolin has to come to that moment of decision of like, no, I'm not going to do that. I would rather just have Maya than being bonded to another Spren. Especially like, I would assume he'd have to give that bond up. So he's probably not going to be interested in doing that.
Yeah, that would make sense, yeah. Because I can't imagine him just like chucking Maya at this point.
So yeah, I just imagine that is going to be a whole thing that may occur where he's given like the opportunity to bond with the Spren and he turns it down because he wants to stay with Maya. I think that'd be kind of a nice moment and validation of like a relationship that's formed between, what people like what some Spren have given up on, right? Because it's almost like the side of humanity, like his dad's like, well, you're worthy. You should be worthy to have a bond. And Adolin's like, well, I'm all right, like the way I am. And then like the Spren on the other side of it being like, well, yeah, your Spren's pretty useless and it doesn't really understand you and it doesn't really know like what you're trying to do or trying to say. And it would be a nice kind of moment on that end of it too, to be like, look, no, we have a bond and it's different. Like it's not the same as maybe like a full radiant bond, but like it's still something that's real and it exists and it's valued between us. So I think that'd be kind of a nice like full circle moment, like both on a humanity side and a Spren side of being like, look, it's not perfect. It's not what you may think is the correct way to have a relationship between a human and a Spren, but like this is what we're doing and it's what we want and it works for us. And she's, Maya's more than what you think she is. And I think that'd just be like kind of a nice moment to be able to have. And if that helps them with the honor Spren, cool. You almost wonder if it would be a detractor from them because they'd be like, look, this is the evidence that these relationships don't work. But then at the same time, Cal or Adolin could come back and be like, but look, we're still have a relationship and I'm trying, even with something that you think is broken, like I'm trying to make this something that is real and works or whatever. So I think it'd be cool. Other than that, Kaladin, I think I'm going to stick with my theory that like mental health, especially from these chapters, is kind of like where the direction he's headed in. It's like trying to make things better for people who may not just have physical injuries. And I think that's a possibility that's a possible thing that his dad actually may look at and say like, hey, you know what? You found a different way to heal people than what I necessarily trained you to do. So I think that, maybe in his dad's eyes, that will also have a good deal of value. Not saying that he should be looking for Liren's approval because we know Liren does not seem like the perfect dude, but at the same time, it'll be something nice if that also happens.
Fair. Okay. Yeah, I wonder what Liren would think of that.
I mean, we may know pretty quick if he's bringing this guy like back to some place where he can keep a close eye on him. Like Liren may have to be involved with it.
Yeah. We know Liren sent him to the Ardents in the first place, and he didn't send him directly to like the Ardents for people who are troubled in the mind. He sent him to this other set of Ardents. So maybe he'd be on board. But no, that was some. I like the idea just because it flips everything on its head that you had at first about like maybe if this fourth Shallan personality is a good thing and not a bad thing in some way.
Yeah, because she's scared of her past, but like we don't really fully know why, and so it'd be nice if like that a breakthrough could happen, and then this like extra personality is like, no, like it's positive, everything's gonna be okay, like this is a good thing, but we'll see, or maybe we won't. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe we won't. But I also like this idea about Adolin and Maya, developing. And I've talked about it before, how as soon as he met her and like started kind of befriending her, I was just like, I would love to see him develop a different kind of relationship with her than what the Radiants have with their Spren. Just because we know now that the Radiant bond can be very dangerous for the Spren. So I'm like, I would like to see a different kind of relationship between these two. So yeah, that would be cool if we saw that. And you're right, we don't know how the Honor Spren would take that. Maybe they'd see it as a good thing. Maybe they'd see it as a bad thing. Who knows? But it would be interesting for us at least. All right. Well, we're running pretty long. Let's do an email or two, and then we will wrap up. We don't have any new patrons or anything this week. We got one email from Caden Althor that was like, apparently I sent my mail to the wrong address, and I've been waiting almost 2 months for you guys to read it. And then I decided to check like the email address. My bad. Anyhow, here's my email.
Wait, where he sent it? Who got this email? They just reading it, just going, what is this?
It was sanderlanche@gmail.com instead of thesanderlanche@gmail.com. So,
okay.
That's what happened. I don't know if that's one that is valid or not.
But. Yeah, you'd think if it wasn't, he'd get like a response message saying it was undeliverable.
Could not deliver.
Yeah. So wonder if it's like somebody else out there who has that, and they're like, "Oh, that's weird. I wonder why they sent this to me."
So yeah, as I'm reading, consider
this is
how
the weirdest spam mail ever.
At least it's not somebody out there who's like, I'm going to impersonate these podcast guys and write mean things back.
Yeah, nobody wants to impersonate us. Don't worry about that.
The original message says, "Hi guys, been a long time since I wrote in. Life kinda got away from me." It says kindly of, but given what they go on to say, I don't think kindly is the right word. Lost my job, moved back home, found a new job, got married, got a child, Through it all, I kept listening. I tried finding other podcasts, but none of the other ones I listened to engaged me like you guys. I don't write in as I didn't have much to add, and as I was usually behind. I finished your Oathbringer climax and thought I should write it. I have been an audiobook listener for a long time. I loved Michael Kramer and Kate Redding, but once I found graphic audio, I couldn't go back. For those who don't know, it's a dramatized adaptation of the book with a full cast and background music. I know they're more expensive, but this Oathbringer climax made it all worth it. My request is you guys please listen to the climax in graphic audiobook at least once. You don't have to buy it. Here's a YouTube link where someone has uploaded the You Can't Have My Pain segment. Trust me, you will cry. The actor for Dalinar is the best I've ever heard. I'd recommend posting a reaction in the podcast if possible, or like an Instagram reel. You guys are still doing a great job. Keep up the good work. I honestly didn't think you guys would stick together for this long. Still jealous of a friend group like yours that shares interests. Catch you all later. From Caden. Thor. So, it's like a 7-minute YouTube clip that I don't know that we want to just in the middle of the show have 7 minutes, the 7-minute YouTube clip and react to it. But I would like to put something together, maybe for our Instagram, maybe for the Patreon, if we can make it work. I'm going to have to think on that. I was going to hold off on reading this email, but since he was like, I was already waiting 2 months, I was like, you know what, let's go ahead and let's get him out there.
yeah. Let's. We better not hold off on this one.
And so I will say, I'm going to think of something that we can do with that. I'm not sure what it'll be yet, but I'm holding on to your thing, and we'll try to figure out some way to do it. At the very least, I'll send you guys the link at some point if I can't think of anything better, and you guys can watch it, and we can talk about it on the show. But it would be cooler if we had a more like present reaction. Maybe everyone can just sit down and record themselves watching it. I don't know. I'll think about it.
Like if you were recording through Discord, it's like you streamed it through Discord.
Yeah,
maybe.
Yeah, we could do that. Except like we already push up against like when Joe needs to go to work. So adding 7 random.
Oh yeah, no, I don't mean right now.
Yeah, I think you meant just like in general, maybe sometime we could do that. But at the same time, you will get the audio in the Craig thing. So, maybe not the best way to. But he can cut that track out, I guess.
I mean, we could give the link and people could watch it and hear the reaction at the same time if they want, like because it's on YouTube. But there's possible. Like I'd been considering this because we'd have to find another time that we could all 4 get together and record just that like 10-minute period or whatever. Which we could probably come up with, but like I'm always telling people, if we can find another time to connect, I'd much rather do another episode and then get ahead, because we have so few times that we can all make it as it is. So there's possibilities there. We can talk about it, but I like the idea for sure. Thank you, Caden, for sending this clip because I haven't heard this one either, and I'm excited. I've heard some of the graphic audio bits, but never like a whole book or never this particular section. So that's very cool. Thank you. The next one we have is from Jamie. Not Jamie on the show.
Not
spelled differently. Chapter reading lengths is the title of this email. I had a laugh at Joe being baffled at needing 25 minutes to read a chapter when I'm assuming it takes less time. Brandon Sanderson is known for his tomes and long chapters. I think you brought it up already, but you should remind the others that in the last Wheel of Time book, Sanderson wrote a 200-page, 9-hour chapter that was more words than the first Harry Potter novel.
What?
That was one chapter?
That's not a chapter. Yeah. Holy moly.
I think I don't remember if I'd mentioned that. I had mentioned that as you read through the Wheel of Time books, like the prologue in each book gets longer and longer and longer until there was one point where it took up like the first 7 or 13, somewhere in there, % of the book was just the prologue. And then it was like chapters. And so those Wheel of Time books get wacky, y'all. Yeah, that doesn't mean that one chapter can't be longer. Like we're gonna have a pretty long one at the beginning of next time, like I said. So it still stands out. But yeah, I mean that's kind of like it could get worse. But I mean, we've had worse. We had that chapter of Oathbringer that was like one chapter for the whole episode. One more quick email, and then we'll wrap up. This one is called Accents, and it's from Zach O'Brien. Hi, it's Zach O'Brien. I haven't written you in a while, but the new episode got me thinking. First off, I'm in the middle of listening to episode 291, and the southern accents are absolutely hilarious. By the scene with Navani and Sigil, it just clicked as young Sheldon, and now I want to see a young Sheldon-styled acting of that scene. I mean, Yeah, okay. Navani is like Meemaw. That would be hilarious, actually. Yeah.
Old Annie Potts.
Yeah, I love seeing Annie Potts get a big role like that, and Wallace Shawn got in for several seasons, and he's always hilarious. So it's a pretty good show. Secondly, when I heard that people didn't finish stuff because they didn't want it to end, I automatically went to thinking that they're masochists. Like, who would want to make a cake, spend hours working on the base and the frosting and the decorations, and then just not eat it? This is the only obvious comparison I could think of off the top of my head. And I was thinking, I mean, bakers.
Yeah, that's their job, though.
Jamie bakes sometimes. If you spent hours making a cake and didn't get to eat any of it, would that make you feel bad?
Oh no, I would feel bad if no one ate it.
Fair.
For me personally, I don't need to eat it.
Yeah. I mean, I get that to an extent. Like, when sometimes if you make something and it's kind of arduous, like, I get to the point where, like, man, I dealt so much with the ingredients of this thing and making it and preparing it. I don't know that I really want to taste it that much.
I mean, when you're really into the like decorating stuff of cakes, it's like an art form, and the journey is kind of the point in some ways, right?
Yes,
Yeah. So
I do a lot of cakes for like kids, but like friends' kids' birthdays and stuff like that. And I've actually got 2 to do next weekend, which is super exciting. And it's kind of like, well, I would never get an opportunity to do it if I didn't do it for all these kids, right? It's like otherwise you would just make a whole bunch of cake and then it would be like, cool, what am I going to do with this now?
I don't want to eat a whole cake.
I have this cake and no one to eat it.
There is one that I made for a birthday party and the little one got unwell and so the party didn't happen and I just never quite like then got to deliver them the cake, and so it sat in our fridge for like a couple of weeks, and I was like, I can't, someone has to throw it out, I can't do it, I can't be the one that does it, but it needs to go. Like someone else do it.
That's sad.
Yeah.
It was Cakey from Gabby's Dollhouse.
Oh,
He was very cute.
It was an amazing cake.
Yeah.
Do they have an Australian Bake Off, Jamie? Would you want to go on an Australian Bake Off?
No, I would be terrified.
fair.
I'm happy to watch.
I don't want people to watch me cook. No. I get it.
No.
For some reason, when you said you made a cake for a kid's birthday party, the first thing that came to mind was like duck cake. And
I do want to do the duck cake though. We have the book. The book that
Yep.
duck cake is from.
See,
It's a real cookbook.
they just
Staple in Australian households.
today or yesterday they released the trailer for the first teaser trailer for the new Bluey movie. Animation.
I've seen images of the trailer.
I don't know how I feel about the animation change. It's kind of extreme.
I am very, very displeased by it. It's like Bluey's art style is iconic.
Yeah.
Why would you change?
Like why?
Honestly, I'm a bit burnt out on 3D animation in general. I'm just like, you know what? Take me back to 2D. I'm like 3D is not doing it for me anymore. And then they did it to Bluey. I'm like, no, how dare?
Yeah, I'm not super into that stuff either. I remember back in the day, like big SpongeBob fan as a kid, and that first SpongeBob movie, the art style changed, and the voice actors, they were the same voice actors, but they started doing the characters' voices differently.
Oh.
And that like bled over into new episodes of the show, and I was like, this is not as good.
Fair.
Yeah, because I mean, like the Bluey movie, it's being made by the same people. It's like written, directed by the series creator. So it's like it should all still be like good quality, but that art style just Like you remember like that one 3D episode of The Simpsons that they did that far away back when? Imagine if the Simpsons movie had been in that art style, and it'd just be like, this isn't right.
That's fair. Yeah. Okay, sorry. Back to I like how Zach was making a point, and the cake thing was just like the comparison, and we're just like, nah, your comparison is bad because no, I think we agreed last time with like, man, just not finishing a movie or a show or something is crazy, and here it's like,
you gotta stay through.
Not eating the cake, that's fine.
But the other thing is like with this comparison, baking a cake, and it's like, well, when you're baking the cake, that's you making it. But with reading a book, or something, you're not making that. piece of media. You are, you're consuming it. So it's more like I think the comparison would be, it's like if you order like this really artisanal burger and then you only eat you leave like the last quarter of it or whatever on the plate. It's like, I don't want to finish that because I don't want it to end.
You know what I think a good comparison would be, sticking with the cake, is if you spent a long time getting all the ingredients together, mixing it up, getting the batter just right, and then you didn't bake it.
Yeah.
Because that would be crazy, right?
That would be crazy. You got to at least see it through. Finish the project.
Anyway, sorry guys. Wasn't to the time of next. Happy cup collecting, P.S. Vasher, from Zach. So thank you for your email.
I like happy cup collecting. That's nice.
Yeah, right. We got a few more, but we'll hold on to those for the future. There's several. I mean, there's one in here from 2025 that I'm still like,
oh really?
I don't know that we can read that one just yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna have to go back and check some of them to be like, I was holding them for spoilers. Maybe that's not a spoiler any longer. But we've gotten through most of the mailbox. There's a couple left waiting, but a lot of them are quite old at this point because I was holding on to them for one reason or another. Anyway, if you haven't heard your email yet, it's okay if you want to, like Caden, be like, hey, did my email actually go through? Let me check. You can email me and be like, hey, did you get my email? Why haven't you read it yet? I don't mind. It's fine. If you want to send us an email, the address is thesanderlanche@gmail.com. Find us on Instagram and Facebook and Patreon, where I'm still putting up my reactions to Dragonsteel Prime as I'm reading it for the first time. So check that out if you're interested. If you want to join our Patreon, Joe will assign you a faring power. If you want to leave us a 5-star review on the podcast platform of your choice and send us a screenshot of that at our email address, thesanderlanche@gmail.com, Joe will assign you a misting power. And if you want to do both, you can be a twinborn and be super cool. Thank you, everybody. We appreciate you. Remember, for next time, we're doing 3 more chapters. That's 26, 27, and 28 of Rhythm of War. 3 chapters for next time. Music by Miracle of Sound. And wasing to the time of next. Colo, P.S. Vasher. Crab at thee! To the coast.
Burden that is shared is much easier to bear. We will not fall to despair this darkest day. Whatever comes our way.